Welcome to Lecture 2.5, in which we will discuss lipids. When it comes to lipids, we probably usually think of very fatty foods, such as meat, cheese, chocolate, and fried foods. However, there are other types of lipids as well, and we will talk about why they are all important in this video. Our learning objectives for this video are to describe the general characteristics of lipids, recognize and distinguish between the structures of fatty acids, phospholipids, and cholesterol, and understand each of their functions. Lipids are a broad class of macromolecules, and unlike the other macromolecules we discussed, they do not have a single monomeric form that builds into a polymer. What they all have in common is that they are primarily composed of carbons and hydrogens, with very few polar functional groups. As a result, they are always nonpolar molecules, and therefore insoluble in water. As the saying goes, oil and water don't mix. You can see in this glass that the water and the oil are very well separated. Lipids can be quite different from one another otherwise. Some play a role in energy storage, some are important for cell membrane structure, and others are used to make hormones. The three types we will discuss in this video are fatty acids, phospholipids, and steroids. Fatty acids are long hydrocarbon chains that are attached to a single carboxylic acid. They can be saturated, which means that they only contain single bonds in the hydrocarbon chain, or unsaturated, which means that they contain one or more double bonds in the hydrocarbon chain. In both of these images, the red represents the carboxylic acid group, and the black represents the hydrocarbon chain. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with this, hydrocarbon chains are often depicted as lines going up and down, with each point representing a carbon. Individual hydrogens are usually not drawn in. A fat specifically refers to a fatty acid that is attached to glycerol, with triglyceride being the most common fat in our bodies. In this structure, I have the glycerol in blue, the carboxylic acid in red, and the hydrocarbon chain in black. Triglyceride refers to there being 3 fatty acid chains attached to one glycerol. Fatty acids can have very long hydrocarbon chains, in some cases over 20. Since there are so many covalent bonds, this makes fats great for energy storage. Let's talk a bit more about the different fats. Again, saturated fats are composed of only single covalent bonds in the hydrocarbon chain. This makes it very easy for saturated fats to stack on top of one another. As a result, they are tightly packed and tend to be solid at room temperature, like butter and some other animal-derived fats. Saturated fats tend to have a bad reputation because they have been shown to contribute to plaque formation in arteries. Unsaturated fats have one or more double bonds, which give the unsaturated fat a bit of a kink in its structure. This means that it can't stack the way saturated fats do, and so they tend to be liquid at room temperature, such as this olive oil, as well as many other plant-derived oils. Unsaturated fats have been shown to improve blood cholesterol levels, which is why they are generally referred to as healthier fats. Trans fats are made when oils are processed to increase shelf life, or when cooked at high temperature, like when food is deep fried. Trans fats are also associated with increased plaque in arteries, as well as a host of other health problems, which is why it's generally recommended to limit trans fat in our diets. Phospholipids are actually lipids that also contain fatty acid chains, but they are important enough that we will discuss them as their own category. They are similar to triglycerides, except they contain 2 fatty acid chains and a phosphate group connected to glycerol instead of 3 fatty acid chains. You can remember them as lipids that have a phosphate group, hence phospholipid. This diagram shows a head represented by a circle that contains the glycerol and phosphate group. The phosphate group makes the region polar and hydrophilic. At the bottom, there are 2 fatty acid chains that create a hydrophilic tail. One fatty acid is saturated, while the other is unsaturated. This is important because it allows phospholipids to have both structure and fluidity. Having both a hydrophilic and hydrophobic component is a key feature of phospholipids. When put into water, the hydrophilic heads would face the water, while the hydrophobic tails face away and hide from the water. This creates something called a micelle, depicted here, and is actually what creates bubbles when we use soap. Phospholipids are also what create the plasma membrane in cells, and we will learn in an upcoming lecture how their structure makes them ideal for this purpose. The last class of lipids we will discuss are steroids. Steroids have a distinct 4-ring structure composed of hydrocarbons. One important steroid is cholesterol, depicted here. Cholesterol also plays a role in the cell membrane, but might be best known for its role in creating important steroid hormones in our body, such as testosterone and estrogen. While cholesterol is very important for cells, having too much of it can be bad because it can also contribute to clogging of arteries. In this video, we learned that lipids are composed primarily of hydrocarbon chains, and we classified them into 3 groups: fatty acids, phospholipids, and steroids. Fatty acids have long hydrocarbon chains that are attached to a carboxylic acid and are important for energy storage. Fats are made of 3 fatty acid tails attached to a glycerol. Phospholipids are made of 2 fatty acid tails attached to a glycerol and a phosphate group, and make up the majority of the cell membrane. Steroids are hydrocarbon chains that are shaped into 4 rings and are important for the production of some hormones. Now that we've gone over all the macromolecules, in the next lecture we will discuss cells and their components. Thanks for watching.